Hi, everybody. We're back. We're back. I have made it across the country and back, well, down to Connecticut and then back here and then across the country. And you saw that. Yeah. So
All the travels.
all of the travels. And while I was traveling, Mandy got eaten by, life in the theater and life in
Sick
the
animals
theater,
in the
life
theater.
in the theater, and
Learning what happens when you stab yourself with your cat's IV needle. Yeah, good times, good times.
important life lessons brought to us by important life lessons that are not always
Learn something new every day.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You stabbed yourself. I fell on gravel. We
Yes.
should not be allowed
During a
to
wedding or
during. Yes.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, technically, it was after the wedding and the photographs, so my timing was
Fair.
impeccable. Pro tip, internet: if you have a veterinarian in your general area and you do something like scrape your knees, they, I promise you, will clean you up and patch you up better than any of the well, maybe not better. Better is not necessarily fair, but gentler, but more securely than any of my previous interactions with human doctors. I'm just saying. I have never had scraped knees scrubbed A, so thoroughly, and B, with no pain whatsoever. None.
Yes, we talked about this. When you can't expect your patients to stay still on their own, you
Yeah.
have to become good at this, I imagine. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. So I learned whether you are on an alien planet or even just at a wedding and you happen to do something silly, see if a vet can help you first and then go to a human doctor after. Just pro tip. Pro tip. Sorry, vets, but you're just better at it. And you are in fact a human, which means you know if it will hurt you as well as everything else. So yeah. Anyway, had to throw that out there. Hi, everybody. Welcome to my brain after 2 weeks of intense travel and wedding extravaganza. Although I do have to say, kudos to my cousin who put on maybe, no offense, the most spectacular DIY Pinteresty wedding I have ever attended or been in at all. It was I didn't know weddings could have that little stress. I know she didn't feel this way. I know her husband didn't feel this way. But I have seen the scale of stress with weddings. And there was like, it was an event that involved like a big dinner at a hotel with a bunch of people. I mean, there was well done, hats off. I'm still never ever, if I have a big wedding, the internet can come for me then. But should I ever get married and it's not just signing a piece of paper down at town hall,
Yeah.
it's probably going to be at Vegas with a couple of calls going, Mandy, get on a plane. We're going to Vegas. And that's going to be the extent of it. So
I support that.
yeah. So everybody, welcome. Welcome. I see that a lot of new folks joined us with my short little travel update. So before I roll the intro, I do want to say, please do the commenty things. Leave comments. Tell me what you want in those short form things. Bruin season is kicking up. We know I'm a hockey fan. We know I'm a hockey girl. If that's something you want to see in the short forms, I will provide. If you want to see Mandy commenting on some theater stuff, she and I will figure that out together because it took me a minute. Technology. I'm just old enough for me to not necessarily be friends with all the technology. But yeah, let me know. Let me know what sort of things you want in those little bits, and then you can join us for the longer bits later when you have more time. So, yeah. Okay. With that, I'm gonna roll the intro and then we'll get into it. If I can find it. I'm there. I'm there. I've got it.
Hello and welcome to the Unfiltered Tea, a show where we say all the things you wish the newscasters said, unscripted and unfiltered. We talk about news, politics, and entertainment, so pull up your soapbox, pour yourself a cuppa, and let's go.
Okay, we're back. Shall we start with the not so we're keeping it, I don't want to say light this week, because we have some fun things and then we have some sad news. So I guess we'll start with the sad news so that we can end on the fun notes.
Yeah,
I guess that
sense.
makes sense. So for those of you on the internet, I'm sure that you heard that Paul Reubens has passed away due to a long battle, it seems, with cancer. Cancer sucks, man. Cancer sucks. And I know he was 70, and I know in so many ways he didn't owe us anything, but this one hurt a little, I gotta say. When I saw that, I was raised on Pee Wee's Playhouse. It meant the world to me. I got introduced to the B-52s through Pee Wee's Playhouse. Don't ask me how or where. It was a connection in my head. I don't know if it actually happened or not. Somebody's going to need to tell me if the B-52s were ever actually on Pee Wee's Playhouse. But in my head, Pee Wee's Playhouse and the B-52s somehow are forever entwined, though I can't really tell you how or why. But like I remember Cherry, and I remember the word of the day, and I remember the fact that my parents used to get a lot of jokes that went right over my head. And then I would laugh at things that they didn't find funny. So it was this lovely,
Yeah.
like the Muppet Show, right? This wonderful thing that had a lot of adult humor that was somehow still kid friendly. And I just launched into that. And I'm sorry, like this one hurt. This one hurt. This one not as painful as Robin Williams or Anthony Bourdain, that were far before their time.
Someone likened it to Chadwick Boseman because of the illness and not
Yes.
sharing that with the public. And that one certainly, much younger, much earlier in their career. But yeah, it's the same feeling of, I don't know, just it's hard to find out at the end that there was that information you didn't have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there are lots of people who would have liked to be supportive,
right,
that didn't get a chance to do that. But there was a statement that was released from Paul Reubens after his death saying, I hope you can understand, and I have always felt supported and loved and appreciated. And I'm not at all quoting it. That is a summary based on what my brain spit out. But that basically said, he felt supported, didn't need to make it public because he felt the love. So that makes it feel a little bit better to me anyway. But it's still hard.
It does. Yeah, it's still hard. And it's so funny in the last decade, right? How many people have we seen yeeted from Hollywood for various different heinous crimes? And like I'm going to actually use Matt Lauer as a perfect example. When the Matt Lauer thing came out, I'd had no evidence prior to that. And for years, every time I saw that man on TV, I was like, what's your creep factor? Like, there is something about you that is going to come out one day and it will explain it all. And so when it did, I was like, that's what it was. Okay. Bye-bye. See you later. Don't miss you. And I haven't missed him. Paul Reubens was unceremoniously yeeted from Hollywood with great force. And I remember looking at it even at the time, and I was like, this feels like we're overreacting just a tad to the actual facts of the situation. Um, and it is even more wild to me now that that was done when the same system that did that to Paul Reubens worked so hard to keep Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, and the list goes on. And I'm
Well,
like,
I don't know about R. Kelly because, yeah, but one of the things I sent you the New York Times article on
yes,
Pee Wee Herman and that whole segment of, but it was also just sort of an overview of Paul Reubens' life and career. And it ended, there was a comment or a quote in there from an earlier interview of Paul Reubens saying something like, try being weird now. It's much harder to stand out as being weird or bizarre or unique now than it was when he was creating Pee-wee's Playhouse and all of those, the character and the shows that went along with it. And I do think that there was a readiness for backlash because he was, and the character was so weird, so wonderfully weird, but so odd, right? And that wasn't, it was very unusual for something that weird to become mainstream at that time. So I think when there was a hint of controversy or a hint of scandal, everybody kind of went, oh, of course, because he's a weirdo.
Because he's weird, because he hangs out with people and it doesn't matter what color they are. The Pee-wee's Playhouse was not a white show at all.
No.
And there were plenty of characters that ranged the gamut in color and in probable orientation. I mean, granted, we're asking me to go back to remember when I was like 5 or 6, but there was definitely some, like, the entire point of the show was, who are you? Are you a good person? Are you a kind person? Then you're okay. The rest of it doesn't matter.
Yep.
As opposed to trying to gatekeep some of these other things. So yeah, I think you might be right that the second that there was this whiff of scandal, it was like, oh, that's our take. That's what we needed. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. It's like, but I mean, for the kids out there, adult movie theaters, kids, teenagers, if you're like little and watching this, check in with somebody because this is not. This is PG-13 on a good day. We swear a lot. We talk about heavy topics. I just saying, if you are, younger than, like, if you were not an official teenager yet, check in with an adult and have them watch this with you, please.
Yes,
because
please.
if they're laughing and watching it with you, that's between you guys. That's fine. But, and now I've lost my train of thought because I got so wrapped up in my disclaimer. Brains are weird.
Oh.
It'll come back to me. I'm buffering now.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you were talking about adult movie theaters. That's why you stopped yourself.
That's why I stopped myself and went on that tirade. Thank you. No, back in the day, adult movie theaters used to be a thing. There was the regular movie theater for, Indiana Jones, and then there was the adult movie theater for anything that you can find on the internet these days.
Easily.
And yeah, and the scandal, for those of you who do not know, was he was at an adult movie theater where adults were the actors in the movie theater. I feel the need to point that out because it is terrifying to me that I have to point that out these days. But he was a full-grown adult going to watch full-grown adult content that involved, things that adults do when naked.
Bow chicka wow wow.
that. And he was arrested for indecent exposure at the movie theater.
Yeah.
Like, ladies and gentlemen, he went to watch porn and did the thing that porn was designed to. Yeah, it was. He couldn't have been the only one in the theater, is all I'm saying. And yet, it was made to seem like he was some complete freak for enjoying that particular form with the intent that that art form
Yes. I mean, that's what it's there for.
is there for. I mean, I'm just like, that's
and
what
now
got him yeeted from Hollywood.
Now everyone can stream that into the privacy of their own home and do those things in the privacy of their own home. That was not the case. Not that long ago. So, you know, I don't want to condone indecent exposure either anywhere. I don't, but yeah, it was definitely overblown in the press. And I also think anyone who spends time with kids or working on children's material does get that extra level of like scrutiny, right? Like you have to be above reproach. And I'm like, but then when you look at the things that child actors are put through, maybe we should focus on that, where there's actual like direct interaction on a daily basis, as opposed to, wow, this is a person who makes completely clean content for children and happens to, on the side, need to do adult things from time to time. Like, less disturbing to me than somebody who works with kids on a daily basis and is a complete disgusting ball of nasty on a daily basis. I think my video is not synced up, so if that's messing with you as much as it's messing with me, I apologize.
It's not synced up, but it's off in a way that is actually, it works. It's not, and that could just be that my eyeballs are done with the weather change right now. So, you know, if I look like I'm squinting a lot, it's because I've worn makeup all day at the office, and then I've come home, and also we're in that, it's been just a sauna outside for 3 weeks. And that broke, and that's wonderful. But when that breaks, all sorts of other pollens and things emerge, and then my eyeballs get very angry with me. So, yeah.
I'm going to do an unprecedented little introduction here. This is Loki.
Hi, Loki.
Loki is struggling right now. She is 15 and having a hard time. So since she wanted some love, she's going to be on camera for a minute. I hope no one minds.
No, nobody ever minds seeing a kitty on camera. The internet was built for cats.
It really was. And maybe by cats. I'm not sure.
Probably. We'll give them the credit anyway, because they are deities and deserve it. And
they do.
Oh, I love Loki. I remember meeting Loki. She was a bitty kitten when I first met her.
She, okay, quick segue. She was a rescue from a kill shelter in North Carolina, along with 71 other cats. She was one of 72, God. Or kittens, I should say. And they thought that they were all between 9 and 12 weeks old. But it turned out she was just super malnourished, and she was actually already 6 months.
Oh my goodness.
So she was this little tiny puff of cat with when she would meow, no sound would come out. It was really, really pathetic. And she put up with us bathing her and putting all kinds of medicine on and in her, and turned into quite the strong little girl.
She did. The first time I met her, she chewed through my earphone cords, and she chewed through my iPad cable, I think.
Did I know that? Did I replace them? God, I hope I did.
I didn't tell you about it because you were going to replace them, and in those days, kids, these things were like the same as AirPod Pros as far as expense back then. So no, I did not tell Mandy I did not tell you that she had chewed through them until I was home, and you couldn't do anything about it because by then I could replace them. But yeah.
That's rude. But I'll
Um,
forgive you, I suppose.
True friendship right here, ladies and gentlemen. No, I didn't tell you your cat destroyed my thing because also she was just done with her medication. She was just becoming a kitten and she was so proud of herself. Also, on that same trip, even though she had done that, I was catching up on Doctor Who and Loki. And then when I got home, my kitten, who is Loki's age or roundabout there, I would watch Doctor Who. For some reason, it was just Doctor Who, and I should have swooped, but whatever. We're not time stamping this. Sorry,
It's a
guys.
random segue. Just
It's
enjoy.
a random segue. I was watching Doctor Who, and this was Eccleston Tennant, so 910, like way back at the reboot. And the monsters would come on screen, and Loki would hit the screen. Just like, boop. And then it would freeze because it was the iPad. So it just stop because she hit the pause button, basically. And then she would look at me like, what'd I do? Make it go
Is it
again.
dead? Did I kill it?
And I would hit play
No.
again. And she would come at it with her paws again. And then it would stop. And she would look at me like, what is wrong with this thing? Oh my God. And then I got home, and then my cat did the same thing and looked at me like, excuse me, fix it. Like now.
I want
don't
to
know
play
what
with
I
the
did.
thing, but the thing stops moving. I want make it move again. I want to fight it. Yes.
So yes. I don't know if psychically Loki taught that to my cat or my cat taught that to Loki while I was I don't know, but it was sharing that memory because I love that little kitty.
She's a good girl. It's all right. We're not giving up yet.
Nope. We're not.
We're not giving up yet.
And she's made her introduction to the internet world, which means
Indeed
she will have the internet love and support, which is pretty amazing and intense all the way around. When you see the good side of the internet, let me tell you, it's pretty amazing.
It is.
I mean, someplace you have to know where's the dumpster fire and where's not the dumpster fire. But when the internet is a good place, it's amazing what the internet can do. And our crew of subscribers and folks like that seem to be the kind of people that make the internet a great place. So
agreed.
I'm a fan of that, and that makes me happy. Yes. And I'm
sorry, Paul Reubens. I derailed our talking about you for my cat, but I feel like if anybody would be okay with that, it would be you. So
I feel like Paul Reubens would have been like, no, cat takes like cat, clearly. Why are we even discussing this? Of course it's the cat. Yeah, and I don't think he would want things to be, he would want us, truly that man would be pro weird and funny and not sad and morose. And
100%.
you know, I think cancer sucks. 70, to lose your battle at 70 with cancer is like, my only problem with that is that in my head, 70 is a lot further away from me than it is in reality.
Yeah, I can't. It's
So,
yeah.
We're in our 40s, which means we are at that weird age of caretaking on both sides and things like there's everybody said your 40s was awesome and weird, and they undersold that. They undersold that, but yes.
Every decade that I hit, my mother promises me is going to be the best decade. So I'm waiting for her to, oh, your 50s. Oh, because she made it sound like my 40s are like, you're going to like come into your own and blah, blah, blah. So, okay, sure. I'm approaching the middle of that decade and still waiting. So yeah, we'll see what she says when I hit 50. And I'm sure for her, and then 60 and I mean, I hope she lives forever and can say that
yes.
for all of the decades I acquire. But yeah, she keeps trying to sell me on, no, the best is yet to come. And I'm like, okay, hope I make it. Yay.
I hope you make it too, because I mean, I think we signed the contract at some point that we're gonna die at like 97 together on a porch, making inappropriate comments for old women to be making. I mean, we're already doing that, so we'll just continue
living our best Betty White impersonation.
Yes,
100%.
Yes,
100%.
I absolutely intend to age into Betty White a la Hot in Cleveland.
Yes.
47 bedazzled tracksuits and an attitude.
She's the best part of that show. Hands down.
Really is. She really is. Oh my goodness. So anyway.
No offense. All of the ladies on the show are very funny.
Oh,
Betty White.
They are.
Betty White kills it.
Betty White managed to play Rose Nyland and Sophia.
Basically.
Pretty much. Like, she got to be a Golden Girl twice in her life. That is an impressive life right there.
Yeah, it is.
So,
I hope she is welcoming Paul to the Hall of Comedy, wherever the next place is. I do indeed.
Okay. That side of whatever path of existence we have right now currently has Robin Williams, Betty White, now Paul Reubens. I've mixed things up in my head. It has been a longer day than I thought it was. Anyway, I feel I'm just going to put this out there. If the internet will carry this to the other side, I don't really know. I feel like there are some theaters that are just waiting to be haunted by this particular trio. I feel like this trio needs to do. I mean, they could be traveling. They could be a touring group.
Yes.
They
also have Bob Saget, George Carlin. Who else? God, so many are gone.
I feel like this is my next job. If I could become like the right kind of medium, I just need to translate for this. It's like it brings a whole new meaning to the groundlings.
It does.
Which is where some of them started. Like Paul Reubens was a groundling.
Very true. Very true. There's also, I did not know that he auditioned for Saturday Night Live and was rejected. So, I imagine at the time that was his like dream, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
So just throw that out there because he ended up building other dreams and being amazing. So when one dream smacks you in the face, don't give up.
Don't give up. Truly. If you had told me 10 years ago that I would have given up this stage, but I'd be on YouTube and loving it, like I would have looked at you and been like, you what? Like what? And yet this is my jam. Yes. Also, I get to wear comfy pants. Not a thing you get to do in the theater a whole lot. Just
so true.
I get to look like this from here up. I am in my slipper feet and soft pants. So, yay.
Yeah, it's like really been hard going back to working full time in an office because the pandemic taught me how comfortable I could be. Dressing up from like, waist up is so much easier than waist down.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, granted, I know those of you who don't know me in person, I have like enough ass for several people. So that's part of my problem. But just in general, also like pants that are comfortable with pockets that like are functional just don't look good in an office setting. It's really sad.
Which
It's really, really sad.
fashion designers get on that? Women love pockets, and we don't hate pants. But ultimately, we love pockets. Just give us back our pockets,
Please.
please.
And not the little fake ones. Those are such a
No.
lie. Such a lie. I hate that.
I hate those.
Morgan got her first pair of something that had fake, and she's like trying to put her hand, break the like little, and I was like, honey, there's no pocket. She's like, how do you know? I'm like, would you feel inside the pant? She's like, uh-huh. I'm like, is there a pocket there? Oh, no. There's no pocket. It's a lie. That's a pocket lie.
It's a pocket lie.
So don't do that. We hate that.
We hate that. We hate the pocket lie. If there's no pockets, tell us up front. Don't make us think that we're getting a pocket. And then
so disappointing.
Don't mess with women in pockets. After a century, we're very over this and we're very loud and cranky about it. Just as a rule.
We need to carry things.
We have
Men carry nothing. Why do they get all the pockets? They have a wallet. That's it. Do you have any idea what it takes for me to leave the house? How many things have to come along with me? Give me some goddamn pockets.
And the number of men I know that lose stuff in their pockets. Like, my father can sit there for a solid 20 minutes looking for his phone or his wallet on one single piece of clothing. That may be a slight exaggeration. Call it 2 pieces of clothing, an over jacket and a vest or something. It can take the man 20 minutes to find which pocket.
Because he's a man, so he has 97 pockets on one piece of clothing.
Pockets. So many pockets.
Unnecessary. We need to redistribute the pocket wealth, please. Take some of those pockets you're putting in all the places on guys and give us like 2. That's all we want. 2. 4 would be great, but 2 is fine. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to lose it quite so hard. But I did just come off stage managing, and like there are literally 3 pairs of pants. I had to wash my clothes every 3 days because there are 3 pairs of pants that I can wear in public that have pockets.
The last time I stage managed, I ended up like going to the costume shop and literally just making myself an apron that was nothing but pockets.
Yes.
For the show. Yes. Because women's clothes just don't have enough pockets. And also, while we are saying farewell to Paul Reubens, I'm laughing so hard in part because I feel like he would appreciate this entire diatribe on pockets. And there's this little part in the back of my brain that's like in the Pee-wee voice going, man, we missed a show on all pockets for women's clothes. Like he would have come up with a whole inanimate object, like it would have been a dress in the closet, in his closet, that would have emerged. Yes. Like, I have pockets. Everybody should just make more of me. We'll be friends. Oh my goodness, I'm seeing this all now. Okay. Brains are fun. And
they go all the directions.
All the directions. All the directions. Yeah. Pockets. I'm going to use this as an opportunity to do the swoop.
Yes, I think that's fair.
Because then also I am awake, but my eyeballs are like very cranky with air at the moment. So, That's why I look like I'm squinting all of the time, because my eyes are like, we hate you right now. Just close, just air, dust. Anyway, I'm going to swoop, and then I am going to tell Mandy I went to see Barbie.
Yay. Okay. Swoop, swoop, swoop. Swoopity swoops.
I did the swoopy. Okay. I will timestamp that. Yes. I went to go see Barbie this weekend. This is a hard right. Paul Reubens would understand. Cheers. Cheers, Paul. May you be free of pain. May you continue to bring joy and laughter. And may the internet do what the internet does best and give you redemption as in the next few years, you know? Well earned redemption, good sir. All right. Yeah, I went to go see Barbie.
And don't worry, folks, I'm going tomorrow. So I've already told Aurora no spoilers.
Right. No, there will be no spoilers here, because if you've already seen it, my thoughts on it, you'll be like, yes, or you'll
For
hate
Barbie,
me.
we must touch up our lipstick. Sorry.
Yes, yes, no, and I will do this, because this in honor of talking about Barbie. No, come here. We want this. All right, whatever. You can see the pink. It won't zero in on it, but you can see the pink. Not sponsored, but seriously, if you want the best lip gloss ever on the face of the planet, Gerard Cosmetics, people, just do it. Because it's amazing. And she makes the most perfect Barbie pink color. So yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to give away any spoilers. And truly, even if I wanted to, the brilliance of this movie, the true brilliance of this movie, you know, a movie is good when I have seen it. I want to go see it again. I want to go see it 10 more times. And on top of all that, even if I walked you step by step through the entire plot, you know what I'm not going to be able to do? Actually do anything to give away the movie. Like, it's not even possible. I could go step by step, and it's not even really possible. I'm going to say watch the trailer. The trailer is brilliant. The trailer will give you what you need to get your butt in the seat. I am not a Barbie girl. I'm going to start off with that. I am not a Barbie girl. And Greta Gerwig is right. She was like, if you hated Barbies growing up, this movie is for you. If you love Barbies growing up, this movie is for you. If you're meh on Barbie, this movie is also for you. We went to go see it in the drive-in because we have our lovely new dog who has separation anxiety in a very different way from the last dog who had separation anxiety, because that is real and a thing and what have you. But she also loves going in the car, so we all went to go see Barbie together so that she could come with us to the drive-in. Which is super fun, pulling up to a drive-in and seeing the dog. But it was also rainy. And I'm going to sidebar for a second, because drive-ins are amazing. Post-pandemic, we need more of them. You know what's not great? How drive-ins are done with modern cars. Old drive-ins, modern cars, not friends. Modern cars are like, after 10, 15 minutes, they go, hey, your battery is going to die if you keep listening to the radio. And we're like, yeah, we know, but you can't turn on the lights because then you ruin the movie, and you can't do the and the car doesn't like that. There has to be a way to allow the windshield wipers to work, the radio to work, and all of the lights and stuff to stay off. So car manufacturers,
Memo to you,
please get on that.
Yeah, make a drive-in mode, please.
Yes, if Tesla can have a dog mode, make a drive-in mode. That would be great. You could even add it as an extra feature and put in like better speakers and stuff.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, go see that movie. I want to see this blow. You know what I would love to see? I want to see the Barbie movie. I can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth, but they are going to come out of my face. I want to see the Barbie movie kick Avatar down to number 2.
I can't believe you just said that. I, by the way, have never made it all the way through the first Avatar movie and did not even try to watch the second one. So I'm totally fine with this plan. Sorry to anyone who's a big Avatar fan. That's fine. There's a lot of stuff I'm really geeky about, and you don't have to love it. It's fine. It's all good. It was not my jam. I didn't.
James Cameron makes a lot of visual things very interesting, which is not actually things that he does. He hires the right people, and kudos to them. They make marvelous movies. His scripts.
That sounds like someone else who might have George Lucas. Oh, I'm sorry. That was so weird.
Yes,
he's made a lot of money on effects and been really lucky with actors. And yeah, interesting.
And Greta Gerwig, I'm going to put this out here, and I'm going to stand by this until, I don't know, something happens and I have to eat these words. At least when it comes to the Barbie movie, this is the first Greta Gerwig movie I've ever seen. I have missed all of the others somehow. I don't know how I went to go see the Barbie movie with all of these other great films. I am going to catch up on her catalog after this. But truly a brilliant fucking movie. Expletive required in that sentence, because on the one hand, it looks all pink and shiny and fun and Barbie good times. But it's not. That's not all the movie is. The movie is much deeper than that. The script is fantastic. The script is truly fantastic. The production design is truly out of this world. And the Easter eggs, ladies and gentlemen, if you like a movie with Easter eggs, go see this movie. If you have watched, if you are somebody who enjoys Hollywood and movies in general, then you are going to want to see this movie. I only picked up on a fraction of the Easter eggs. I have trolled the internet for more. And I still need to see it 27 more times for all of the Easter eggs. Mandy will be coming back. I do have notes on that. That's one of the reasons why I kept talking, because we have a little chat. And so I get to see it. And Mandy will be coming back. And when she does, I will finish this up and we can talk a little bit more. But for all of the pink, it's funny. My journey with the color pink has been a little odd, because when I was a kid, I liked it a little bit, but I liked purple more. And then liking pink was not cool. And now with Barbie, I'm going to add more pink. I'm going to add more pink to my wardrobe. Not because it's a girly color, but because it's a fun color. And that's going to need to happen. So, truly, there are scenes in the Barbie movie, and I don't know. I'm trying to think of how to put this without giving certain things away. There's at least one scene in particular that me and all of my friends and every woman I know over a certain age has actually sat through that scene, the scene that was there. We've all sat through that. And it was delightful and hilarious. And yes, so go see Barbie. Also, point, because I have thoughts on this, and I'm going to keep rambling until Mandy comes back or texts me and tells me she's, hi,
I'm back.
You're back.
It was a false alarm from the other cat in the house. Sorry about that.
That's okay. The poor internet had to deal with me rambling and telling them that I now like pink. And there is one scene in the Barbie movie, and I'm not going to give anything away when I say this. Every woman I know has sat through that exact scene. Like we all have a version of that scene. Every single one of us. There is not a woman I know that is not like, oh yes.
Yep, been there. Yep. The pink thing. I have to say, there's, on TikTok, all the little AI filters and stuff. All of them, since I cut my hair, think I'm a guy, except the Barbie filter. I was impressed.
Well done, Barbie filter. There's a Barbie filter.
There is. We're not connected on TikTok, are we?
We are not. And I
only signed up because my daughter's on it and I have to, spy on her in every way possible. But we'll have to get connected. I'll send you the filter.
We will. Because when TikTok was like, shall we connect all of your contacts? I was like, no.
Yeah, no, I never do that. I can't. No.
I'm going to pick and choose what I'm on TikTok for. And and
also, like, my contacts include people I haven't spoken to in years, old, like, work colleagues that weren't even, I mean, some of them are friends, but some of them were just people that I had to have in my phone for emergencies or whatever. Yeah. So no. No.
Yeah. We all have those contacts in our phones that are like, it's easier to just remain connected to you than to go through and filter everybody out. But yes, no, go everybody, man, woman, adult, teenager, go see Barbie. There's something in there for you. And gals over 35, let me tell you, this is your movie. This is the movie you've waited for your whole life. It's just a movie that speaks directly to you in so many ways.
I'm curious, do you know any guys who've seen it?
No, not yet. Okay. Well, other than my dad, who also thinks it's one of the greatest movies ever of all time. But my dad actually had an interesting thing. He's like, I think if you go on dates from here on out, you should just start with the Barbie movie, and based on their reaction to the Barbie movie, then determine if they get a second date.
That's the new screening mechanism. I like it.
Start with the Barbie movie, and then based on their reaction to the Barbie movie, then show them Promising Young Woman.
Yes. God, that movie. So
good. And then you can determine if they should stick around in your sphere or be yeeted to the curb, or, just generally
or just,
replaced with a dog.
Yeah. Upgraded to a dog. Yes. Which is not, I'm sorry, my dudes, but there are so many of you out there, and so many of you just wouldn't even last through the Barbie movie. So, as the internet showed us. Yes. I know a couple of guys who've seen it, and I haven't gotten like in-depth reviews, but it's a less enthusiastic, more ready to criticize response. So, and having not seen it yet, I can't like say I'm okay. Interesting. I'll keep that in mind.
I feel like probably they missed the final point. I think that probably what happened, I'll be curious to hear your reaction, is that somewhere around 2/3 of the way through the movie, they stopped actively paying attention to the words that were being said and the interactions that were happening and things like that, and therefore missed the ultimate last little points that the movie makes so beautifully, because it's not beating you over the head with any of the, lessons or morals or whatever you want to call it that are being put forth. And so that's not actually giving anything away in that. But I would be, my wager is that they probably just reached a certain point in the movie and went, oh, I can't believe it. And then just tuned out.
Or just like, this isn't really about me, so I'm just gonna think about what's for dinner tomorrow because I'm kind of hungry. Which, in fairness, I've done it my fair share of, movies I've gone to see that guys are into. So, or even just other of my friends, whatever gender, are like, yeah, it's the best thing. And halfway through, you're like, I can't. Okay. It's either I fall asleep or I think about what I'm doing after this. What drink should I order when we get to the bar? Yeah. I can't tell if that's a laugh or a yawn. I'm not really sure.
I am laughing because there is when you go see the movie, you will understand the scene that is replaying in my head in connection to all of this, which is why I'm laughing so hard. Which is about the point in time where I think they started making a grocery list in their head, because for some of the audience it was like, oh, they said that, what? And for some of the audience it was like, no. Yes.
Goodness.
So I will bet you almost anything. I'd be curious to question them and be like, when did you decide that this wasn't for you? Because I will bet you that it's within 15 minutes of
probably
where I'm thinking of. And we
can no offense to guys.
No.
This one may just not be for you, and that's okay.
And again, I think if you make it, I think you got to make it all the way through the end with an open mind. I really do. Literally until the credits are rolling, make it all the way through with an open mind, because Greta and her husband or partner, whatever, are very good at just weaving an excellent tale right through to the end. And cheers to the ladies behind Barbie. You have done a spectacular job. You made me like Barbies again. Do you have any idea how difficult that is? I didn't like Barbies to begin with.
Yeah, I never liked Barbie. I'm sorry.
They were weird and creepy, and
you couldn't do anything with their fucking hair, and their feet didn't fit in flat shoes, and that's how I was done. So.
Exactly. It was feet not able to.
And even in the little high heels that the feet were built for, they didn't stand up half the time.
No, they just tipped over.
Wonder why. Couldn't have been because of those insane proportions.
No,
they were designed to when we were younger. No.
Yeah. Oh God, 90s Barbies were the worst. 80s and 90s Barbies were the 50s Barbies made proportional sense. The Barbies that we had as kids were
not.
No.
They were a little top heavy, folks. A little top heavy.
Yeah. My friends and I used to have our own version of the ID channel with our Barbies. Yeah, I've. Let's just say that none of my Barbies have made it through to being collectibles.
Oh yeah, no, mine either.
I have one. I have one Barbie doll that I got on sale, if we're not counting my Disney Villains Barbie doll, that I have still in the box that I found like at a discount outlet. But ladies and gentlemen, when you have the opportunity to have Debbie Harry as a Barbie doll for $10
Oh
because
damn.
people are weird and don't understand the goddess that Debbie Harry is. You take them up on that and you purchase Debbie Harry and you keep her far away from tiny hands and paws, which is
Yes.
where Debbie lives now, up on a shelf with dragons and the evil queen from Snow White, which I feel is good company for Debbie Harry.
Yeah. I love that.
I didn't have enough money to get Debbie Harry and Joan Jett, but let me tell you, should I ever see Joan Jett again, I am getting her as well. Apparently, Mattel did a whole Ladies of the 80s rocker series that
Nice.
included Joan Jett and Debbie Harry and a whole bunch of others. And it didn't sell, and I don't know why. I mean, probably because small children didn't know who they were.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of the moms don't listen to that anymore. There's always time for Blondie. I'm just saying.
Oh goodness.
My musical taste. I don't expect everybody to have the same musical taste as me, but I'm just.
But they should.
I mean, considering that the things I don't like is like that, it's like this, and the
Yeah.
things I do like.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. When people are like, "What genre of music do you like?" I'm like, "That's a terrible question because it's
Yeah.
more."
My go-to is always everything except a really twangy country and
Mhm,
like really heavy metal. Pretty much
mhm.
everything else I can do.
And even with some of those, like if the actual like musicality is good and stuff like that, like with anything, it that's a whole different show.
Indeed it is.
So let's see what else. I think everybody should go see the Barbie movie, but that's just my own personal. I would like to see. So in Time Magazine, the week before it came out, it was expected to do 55 million. Currently, Hollywood is thoroughly confused that a woman co-written, produced, and directed film made 155 million. I, as a female, am not surprised by this because,
Not at all.
shocker, we're good at shit sometimes.
Not just baby factories, guys.
Like, there's a lot. Also, oh, fun fact, based on that article in Time Magazine, the pandemic the pandemic caused the studio to stay out of the writing process, which
Ooh.
means that Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach, I'm not saying his name right, I'm sure, were able to mostly just, hey, I'm talking here, camera. Thank you. They were able to mostly just work on the script and build it. And then when they presented it to Mattel and the producers, it was like, so just trust us. This will work. But you really do need to greenlight it. Just trust us. And trust me, when you see the movie, you will understand why they started with like, so you're going to need to trust that this will work for you. Um, and it does, and it did. And whoever signed off on this, smart move. Do that again. Don't give us 47 Polly Pocket movies. We don't need that. But more of this, just letting the creativity happen and letting folks who have earned it, just trust them. Let them, don't interrupt them 47 times, which is what the pandemic allowed, which is how we ended up with this wonderful piece of brilliance. So with that, I'm going to say, with the SAG-AFTRA strike and the WAG strike still happening, this is what we're fighting for, people. Go see the Barbie movie. We're fighting for the creative right, not we. I am not a part of any of those guilds. They are fighting. And as a consumer, I want to see more of that. I don't necessarily need to see, truly, I don't need to see Barbie 37 either. And I love Marvel, but it is a comic series, and there's 8,000 different threads to pull from, and that's great.
Oh my
and
God,
there's always a new Marvel thing that I can go watch. If that's all that's coming out of Hollywood, I'm not going back to the theaters, guys. Barbie is the first movie that got me back to a theater after the pandemic.
Wow.
I haven't been to a single theater until Barbie.
That's impressive.
Also a very strange phrase to say. I'm not sure how I feel about that. It's very odd. But yes. So studios, studio heads, CEOs of companies, just let the talent do what they're good at. Like, seriously, do what you're good at. Crunch numbers, sign off on ideas and talent, pay them, and then shush. No talkie. Just write the checks. You will
And
make
pay people for their work, man. Just pay them. I mean, come on.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
stop this insanity.
You do not need $97 million. They
hoarding.
Use $500,000 for like 3 years of work. Just saying.
It just, every time I start thinking about the strike, I think about the long held division between actors and tech. And it's like, it's always without the writers, you don't have shit to film. It's that simple. It is that simple. Just like without lights, you can't see what's happening. Without a script, there's nothing to say. It's just, come on, stop acting like folks don't deserve to be paid for the money that they are making you.
And the idea that this strike is a bunch of rich people going, no, pay us more. It's not about them.
No.
Many of them actually aren't even on the picket lines because it would cause an issue if they were there. This is about the background workers. This is about the middle level folks. And for writers, it's about all of them. Up, big, little, all of them. AI can't write movies that make $155 million. They're just not going to be able to do it. Stop with that notion. Anyway.
AI is also thus far only able to recycle content, and there's enough of that in Hollywood.
Yeah, there is. You know, the things that keep surprising everybody, and oh my God, like Barbie. Oh my God, how is this pink movie making so much money? Here, let me tell you, it's a brand new idea that was really well executed. That's why it's making so much money. Spider-Man 97 is not going to make the same amount of money because we're tired of Spider-Man 97. It's not
Okay,
worth the
but
$20.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse was really good. I just have to throw that out there.
Oh, yes. I mean,
as a person who is like tired of Spider-Man movies, it was really freaking good.
yes. And I think that's one I haven't seen yet. And I'm looking forward to like the Marvels movie, right? The Captain Marvels, all of that.
Yes. Yes, there should be a much bigger fanfare made over original ideas.
Yes.
Because we have spent a really long time giving the most prominence and funding to recycled ideas, whether they're books that are turned into movies or old movies that are being remade or comic books being turned into movies or all of those things. It's the same with live theater, frankly. The stuff that really makes it onto the big stages is all musicals based on something that's been done in some other medium, or a revival of a musical that's been done before, or a new take on a musical that's been done before. And we need new ideas. We need to make room for and encourage and foster new ideas.
Yeah. I am all for that. Like, I love the fact that Hamilton has had a 10-15 year run right now. I think the musical is fantastic. Let's put something else in there that maybe we haven't seen before, because it's still running because it was new.
Yeah.
I love Sweeney Todd. I want to go see Sweeney Todd on Broadway right now. I also would really love a brand new idea.
Yeah. Agreed.
It's like, oh, okay.
I just finished doing Heathers the Musical. It was a lot of fun. It's a really fun show. And honestly, there are so many things that you can take away from it. It's great.
Yeah.
But how much would I love to do something that was a brand new idea that you could do with fresh eyes and no preconceived notions? And oh my gosh, it would be amazing.
It would be. So anyway, yes. Let's pay the writers.
Yes.
Let's pay the actors. Let's pay all of the tech crew, because, again, the production design in the Barbie movie, next level. Next level. Next level. Just next level.
Also, I mean, you made that comment about this being a, argument about rich people getting richer. The people who are affected by scale in unions are not the people whose names you know.
Right. Exactly. And residuals can make or break somebody. Like, if you had, say, 3 episodes on Friends, you can still be getting residuals checks that under current rules are probably in the, pennies.
Yeah.
But if you get better residuals, I mean, that's a huge part of what's going on right now, is with residuals and stuff. That I've been hearing stories of actors who were leads on shows who still had to keep their day job. Yep. Because they weren't getting a decent paycheck. People that you would expect that if you see them on a red carpet, you're just going to expect that they've got scads of money. And the fact of the matter is, they're still waiting tables because they're not being paid what they're worth for what they're doing on the show because of that. So anyway, like, if we're going to err on a side, I don't know, paying people a much more reasonable amount for the work that they do and paying them for all the residuals, I just feel like.
Well, it's also worth clarifying a lot of this, at least from what I've read, a lot of this isn't even about increasing residuals on on the things that they've been getting residuals for,
right,
for the longest time. It's because with the evolution of streaming services and the number of platforms on which things that they've written can be generating income.
Mhm.
There currently aren't standards for that, or if there are, they don't make sense anymore given the current. And I'm speaking outside of my depth, but the
Yeah.
argument for those who are currently on strike is that the way the union rules and contracts are written right now doesn't adequately compensate writers for the number of venues in which, or media in which, they can be making money for the
Yeah.
production companies. So it's not that they want, I mean, maybe they want a slightly bigger slice, because also we tend not to adjust these scales for things like inflation, cost of living increases, etc. But mostly it's about the fact that, yeah, as all these things have evolved, the contracts haven't evolved along with them. So they just want
Yeah.
that same piece of the revenue that they're generating for these new platforms. I'm sorry, I got on a soapbox there, but it annoys me. Everything about people acting like, it's the same thing with people who are like, oh, we can't increase minimum wage because then small businesses won't be able to afford their. It's just not true.
That's not
The cost
true.
of everything will go up. The cost of everything is going up. That's the whole problem. Is you're paying people the same amount you were before all the stuff got more expensive. You
Uh-huh.
aren't paying them more. The stuff got more expensive. It doesn't, I don't. Anyway, I'm sorry. Whew.
Welcome back. Welcome back from Soapbox Land.
I'm here. I'm good. I'm gonna drink a little water and simmer down.
There we go. We're going to drink a little water. I'm going to wrap this up because my brain is starting to fail me and my cups are starting to get empty.
Yes.
And I have to work in the morning, and yeah. Yep.
Ditto.
So, but Barbie is a great example of what happens when the system works. Also, okay, it's my turn to soapbox now on
Yes,
something.
please.
Barbie is maybe the one good decision Warner Brothers has made in the last 3 years.
I'm sorry.
Like,
Fair.
really the one. Like,
They were due. I mean,
there weren't actors in this movie. Watch, I'm gonna say this, and then something terrible will come out about Ryan Gosling or something, but I can't quite believe that because he's a little too Canadian wholesome. Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Gosling. They share a wholesomeness that is unholy and should not be baked into any human, but I appreciate it in both of them. There just doesn't seem to. Yeah. Anyway, but Barbie didn't have a problematic cast or problematic people in the cast. The same cannot be said for
everything else that
all the things I can think. I mean, the previews alone, it was weird. It was weird watching previews for The Flash, considering the issues of the lead that don't seem to be going away anytime soon.
Also, I seriously would have, if I had money, paid Warner Brothers to just recast Grant Gustin, the person who plays the Flash in the TV show, who also, again, I don't actually know their personal business, but has that wholesome quality to them. And it's just, it's why I actually haven't watched the last couple of seasons of The Flash, but the number of seasons I did watch and hung in there for were due not entirely, but in large part to how great Grant Gustin was. So yeah, I could have totally been like, let's make a quick switcheroo. Maybe it's like a multiverse thing, and then you're good. You just go with it. You're good.
Do that. It saves so much time and money.
Yeah.
So many things. So yeah,
this is so many souls saved.
So many souls saved.
So many souls saved.
So yes, Warner Brothers, this was a good decision. More of this. If we end up with the Mattel theme park, Maybe I'll
That could be
go.
fun.
Maybe
That could be fun.
maybe I'll go. I could.
Don't build it
Oh,
in Florida.
no, please not in Florida. Go like North Carolina. That seems like it would be a good place.
Inland, not
Inland. Okay.
hurricane territory.
Oh, right. Yeah. Trying to think of somewhere. I live where it's cold so much of the year that
Mm.
I will travel, but maybe not Florida. Just not Florida. Not Florida. Find somewhere else less problematic and build your theme park. Oh, you have it?
A female-friendly side of Vegas.
Oh my God. Barbie Land
want
in
a
Vegas.
piece. Whoever decides to do that, you better call me first or I'm going to sue you. I just want a little piece because that was the best idea I've had in a long time.
That was a brilliant idea. Barbie Land in Vegas. I can think of some other YouTubers that would be on board with this. I feel investors, whoever does this, please let us know when it's built. We'll figure out like some sort of convention of some kind that can be held at Barbie Land.
Many conventions. There are
Yes.
many.
Oh my
Half
goodness.
the conventions that are already in Vegas that have anything to do with esthetician work and
Oh my God.
oh,
Yes.
there's so much opportunity. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
That's copyrighted. I just I just did it right now. I'm magically a notary and a witness all at the same time.
All at the same time. It's
Okay.
on the
I
internet.
really am getting crazy. We should wrap this.
I was gonna say, with that, we've had the idea of the century. Somebody with deeper pockets than us better beat us to that and make it happen, and then invite us. We'll pay. I mean, not the first round because it was totally. But yeah. Anyway, with that. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. I need to know what you want for short form content from either one of us. We both do. My handle changed because that's me on the threads and the Instagram. I changed my name. So
yes.
Those are my public social media places. So you can find me there. I think there's some version of that on Twitter, whatever Twitter is now. I don't even know, but there's some version of the Aurora H. White on there. So that's where you can find me in the public forums.
You can't find, I mean, you totally can't find me by my name, but yeah, I have a teenager. I'm keeping it on the DL.
Yep. Mandy is, if you need to contact this channel through social media means, you'll be contacting me. There. Yeah. Because Mandy still needs to hide for a little while. Because, you know.
Just a few more years.
Safety and kids and things like that. And I have not the same sense of how that works. So.
You're a little bit harder to find IRL than I am. So.
Also true. I live in a place where even people who have been to my house multiple times still can't always find my house. So
you know, have a vague idea of like drive that way, and that's
Yep. So that's why I can also be a little more clear about everything. So with that, we should probably get back to some more serious topics next week. News keeps happening. There are things. Maybe I will do. That
was my ugliest ugly face. I apologize.
That is okay. Maybe I'll do a poll. Maybe I will talk with Mandy and we'll figure out what sort of news coverage we want to discuss and what sort of stories we want to discuss for next week. Rust is coming back, so we are going to be talking about the whole Rust case. at some point next week because I'm following that obsessively. And I'm rambling and I've lost the thread. So,
Yes.
welcome back, Mandy. Welcome
Yay.
back, Unfiltered
Welcome back
Tea
home, Aurora.
viewers. Yes, I'm back home. And welcome back to our viewers. And I see new folks joining us over the last couple weeks while we've been gone. And now we have new content for you. Yay! And we will see you again soon. I'm going to shut up and I'm going to run the outro, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of The Unfiltered Tea. Don't forget to hit that like button. If you have a story you want our unfiltered take on, go ahead and drop it in the comments, and we will see you next time.